Hello guys, welcome back to the Colonel Customs YouTube channel. I am super excited today. I got a little bit of work done. I figured some things out that I've been wondering, and it's been keeping me up at night. It's been a deal, but I got some good news. We had a couple breakthroughs, and in this video, we will be getting this truck started, even if it's just for a little bit. Okay, so I got that all done, spliced up and hooked together. I have my wire running down to my starter now. It's kind of jimmy rigged at the moment. Eventually I will do a much better job at it. Whenever I decide how I want to route it and everything, I'm gonna do it the right way. This right here, I don't have any plugs that will fit these right here. This is for an oil cooler, and it's not really necessary for my application. So I'm going to take off the same thing off of this 460 right here as my other one, right down here. And it doesn't have any hoses or anything going to it like that, so we should be good. And I'll keep that other one for a spare just in case I do want to put an oil cooler on it, but I don't think I ever will. So yeah, see if we can't get this bad boy off. That's part of the course, I'm doing stuff like this. Wash it off before we, or clean it up before we put it all together. There she comes. Simple as that. Okay, so now that we have our little circle ring connector thingamajigs, we can now do these the right way. Take this bad boy. Spin her on just like that. And I don't have any crimpers, so I've just been kind of crimping them myself. What I do is I go about halfway on this thing, smash, and then I go over here and smash this way. Pretty sturdy. Probably should have put some heat shrink on that thing, because these little plastic things never stay. I'm not sure if you're supposed to melt them down or what. I don't know. This works right now. Tighten down. Look at that. You gotta be crazy tight. Time for this one. This one wrapped around really good. There we go. That's tightened up. I got the loom all taped up. I got my two on there now. I got, look, the horn's over here. I'm not sure where the plug is for it. I think it hooks right here. I'm not really 100%. This honestly probably went up through here and clicked up like that, but I don't know. Right here's the horn relay. So I guess we'll figure that part out later because it's not important to me at the moment. We need to do something about that. That's hideous, it's ugly, it does not look very reliable. So let's go ahead and fix this too. Okay. We will be keeping this piece right here and reusing it. Well, I mean, I guess it's not too bad, but really it needs some heat shrink on it. Some nice tight wires, that's for sure. Nice thick gauge. They did it almost how I do it too, with the two pigtails like this and then string them together. Take you up like that. That was lacking. A little bit too small. Oh, it almost looks a little bit too fat though. I think we're gonna try this one. We're gonna do a little test piece so we know. Take our scissors, cut us off just a little bit. Work with that piece. Find my torch. One like that. Okay, we're trying to make sure this thing isn't going to catch on fire. We got the battery hooked up. I got a little body ground here. It's real shitty, like real crappy. That's my starter wire for right now. Those wires. So far, so good. I don't see any sparks or smoke. Let's make sure that we have power to the cab. How we can do that? Simply pull the headlights. Yes, we do got power to the cab. They're dim, but they're there. Now let's, just for giggles, let's see if maybe we can crank it over by key. If we can crank it over by key, we might be getting somewhere. Or at least have it kick out the start or something. Okay, so it is dead as a doorknob. So we're gonna take the battery out of the Focus and put it in the truck and see if it won't crank over then. Okay, we got the battery in. That's good news. Now let's see if this thing will crank by key. Turn the headlights off. They're not necessary right now. it will. And the reason why it's starting so slow is because this battery is only, what, 650 cold cranking amps, and it needs to be somewhere along the lines of 7 to 8, which is actually what this battery is right here. It's 800. It was a good battery until it wasn't. But that's kind of what we were aiming for today. I'm gonna try to get on these spark plug wires, and I might even throw my carburetor up on top of there and see if we can't get this thing going with some brake clean or something. But yeah, I'll get back to you guys on that too. Okay, so we got the carb on there, and we're just gonna give her a little bit of the Cosby sauce just to see. I don't know, this might not work. I did that from Google, and I don't have a spark plug wire long enough for that. So we're just gonna see. It might work, it might not, who knows. I hope it does, it'd be super cool. Oh, shitballs. Burned up the starter wire. Oh! Not enough amperage. That, my friends, is why you get the correct size of everything. And I'm pretty sure I just burn up that relay too. I don't know, it's ticking. Let's take the power off for this bad boy. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a bigger battery before we do that again. Yeah. Okay, so this didn't work, and I can only assume it's because it is way too thin and it is way too long. I probably got an extra, I don't know, foot or two on there than I need, and it's just it's obviously it's just way too thin. I thought maybe it was the cold cranking amp, or it was the battery that I was using, but I don't think that's the case. I really think that because this is so thin and so long that it had too much resistance going through, and the wire got hot, causing the insulation to melt, causing it to arc off of the inner fender. So with a little bit of camera magic, we're gonna get this thing replaced with something a little bit thicker. And that is how it's done with some camera magic. Okay, we're gonna turn the key on. We're gonna jump this starter relay, and we're gonna give her some Cosby sauce, and she might fire up. This will be huge if it fires. I will be so ecstatic. Let's make sure she cranks first, because I did short that out. Yes. Oh, that's so much better. All right. Give her a little snort. Come on, fire off, baby. Well, she's firing very cleanly. I need to test spark. That's what I need to do. I need to make sure I got some spark. I'm gonna crank her over just a little bit more. Maybe she just was working to get some of the brake clean inside of the cylinders. Just gonna see. I mean, maybe, maybe not. I don't want to fry up my cable again. She's not even hot yet. I'd say we're doing pretty good. All right. I think we need to check for spark. So we'll get on that. When checking for spark, you can take the spark plug out, put the plug wire on it, make sure this is on there nice and tight, everything's good to go from here. We're gonna work from the spark plug all the way back to where we need to figure out where we are losing spark at, because I don't think it's getting spark, but we're gonna have to see. So I'm gonna have to turn this key on, it'll turn the coil on, and then I'm gonna crank it right there, and we're gonna test it right here, right on this bolt thing. Still feels good. Key is turned to the on position. Okay. Keep my hands off this thing. Okay, we have no spark, so that's a problem. I did replace the magnetic pickup in this distributor. I might swap coils real fast and see if maybe it's a coil issue. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I have an old coil off of the old 460, and there ain't no telling if it's even good or not, but it's worth giving it a try. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so I think I may have gotten the wires backwards on the distributor to the coil. We're gonna see if maybe that fixed our problem. I don't know. We just gotta test it out and we gotta see. All right, keys on. Should be hot. Might work, it might not. We don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it does. Zip, nada. So we got a problem elsewhere. Okie dokie, y'all. We did some stuff behind camera, like made these spark plug wires. I should have taken a video, but I didn't. It's all right. These are XL 8 M&Ms, or whatever you want to call those. The 4 inches. They're beautiful. I got a new coil. That's an Edelbrock. We're gonna see if this thing will fire up. I figured out my wiring over here by my ballast resistor. There's 2 wires. There's a pink wire and then there's a brown wire. The brown wire only gives power whenever the solenoid is being cranked. And that's this wire right here. So whenever power goes from here, whenever the ignition shoots power to here, this goes and then it gives power to this one, which is a brown wire, and it goes all the way back in the cab and then all the way out right here to this firewall. So we should have good spark, maybe. We'll see. See if this MSD distributor is good or not. I replaced the magnetic pickup in it, so it should be all right. So yeah, let's see if we can't get this thing to start. This will be the first time in years that this thing has seen some power. All right, we'll give her a little bit of that Cosby sauce. A couple little toots in there. That should be enough to see if she has a little bit of fire to her. Let's get her cranking. What's going on here? Oh shit, that scared me. I gotta test the spark again, see if she's making any spark. The problem could be is because I'm using some old spark plugs, and the spark plugs themselves are a little rusty at the end where the spark plug connects into them. So that could be a problem. And also, I think I have a couple vacuum leaks, and that would cause it not to be sucking the fuel right into the cylinder where it needs to be. So see if we can't cap those up real quick. A little bit of tape maybe. She didn't even sound like she wanted a lick of it. Maybe we'll close that choke off a little bit too while we do it. Just those. And then the back here is kind of plugged up with some green tape, but green tape's pretty breathable. So I'll go ahead and plug that off with a little bit of electrical tape. Okay, close this choke up a little bit. Let's see if maybe that'll help her out. A little bit more fuel down her throat. She's a 460, so she does require a lot of it. This ain't no go-kart. This ain't your grandma's lawnmower. I'm gonna say she doesn't have any spark to her. Let's test that theory. She's cranking over plenty fast enough to get it started. That's a fact. I've had vehicles starting a lot less crank than that. Cylinder number 1, spark plug coming out. See what I mean about that? It's a little rusty. It doesn't look like it's got the best connection, but there should be enough. Plug her in. She's plugged in all the way. Gonna click the key back over. Now we got that bad boy turned over. We're going to see if it will, see if we can see a spark on this thing. No spark. Well, the coil's brand new. It should be good. All of the wires are brand new. They should be good. There's only 2 things that could be causing this issue. That is the distributor and the spark plugs. That's the only 2 things that I could think that might be causing this problem. She doesn't have any spark whatsoever. So, not exactly sure where to go from here. Let's go turn that key off so we don't burn up our coil. Okay, y'all, this is gonna be the very last attempt of the night. I called the MSD rep to try to figure out what the hell was going on. And he said with this distributor, I needed to hook up my MSD box, which I did. And I got a surprise for you guys later on where that's at. I got it in a pretty unique place. I don't think I've ever seen it mounted there. So let's give this thing a shot. One more try. Forgot. Got to hook the battery up first. Battery's hooked up. Good old Cosby sauce, just barely any enough to do anything. Actually, look up there. All right, let's give her some of that Cosby sauce and see if what she'll do. Hopefully she catches at least one lick. I mean, I just want something. I want to see that we have a little bit of spark and I can figure the rest out from there. Cosby sauce, come on, suck her in. Fucking yeah, buddy. Ooh. Give her a little bit of Cosby sauce. All right, here goes nothing.